Imagine this, your Etsy products soaring to the US, to Europe, to Asia, to every corner of the globe. There you are, running your little Etsy empire, and before you know it, your unique designs are turning heads and capturing hearts around the world. Exciting, right? In today's world, turning your Etsy store into a global hit is not just a pipe dream, it's an actual possibility. But going global brings its own set of challenges. We've got taxes, customs, shipping. There's a lot to consider. But there's something else which is even more important that you need to nail down first. It's a make or break factor that could be the difference between just selling and you succeeding on a global scale. Hi there, I'm Daniel. I run Etsy shops here from the UK and sell to customers all around the world. And in this video, I'm going to reveal to you a game-changing strategy used by international brands to grow globally. And we'll also take a look at some practical steps that you can take to apply this same strategy to your Etsy store today. So let's dive in. Picture this. You're enjoying a pastry at a cafe in Paris. Then suddenly, you're strolling down Fifth Avenue in New York. Notice the difference in the atmosphere, the people, and the things going on around you. They're not quite the same, are they? The world's full of diverse people, each with their own culture, language, values, all shaped by the environment that they live in. This means that something that's trendy and popular in one country could be a complete miss in another. For example, imagine you're selling handmade winter hats. To folks in Canada, a beanie is a winter staple. But try selling that same beanie in the Bahamas and you might get some confused looks. Why? Because of geographic differences. And as Etsy sellers looking to go global, understanding and embracing these differences is so important. All fine and good, but how do we bridge these cultural gaps? Well, you've probably heard of the term globalization. But in today's video, I want to talk to you about something called glocalization. Glocalization sounds weird, doesn't it? It's actually a strategy that international brands use to adapt and tailor their products to fit local cultures and meet the unique needs of those customers. So you take your core product or design, and then you tweak and adapt it. Add some local flavor to it. By doing this, you're making your product seem a bit more familiar and appealing to customers, regardless of where they may be in the world. Let's use McDonald's as an example. They're everywhere, right? But did you know their menu changes based on where you are? Yep, you can always still get their staple items. But for example, in India, they've got the Makalu Tikki, a spicy potato burger, because they know locals love their spices and many prefer vegetarian options. In Japan, the teriyaki burger is popular because teriyaki is a familiar, beloved flavor there. And the result is that people everywhere love McDonald's, not just for what it represents globally, but also how it feels locally. So why does glocalization matter for your Etsy store? It's about making sure your customers feel like you really get them and making sure that the products you're trying to sell them are actually in demand. Next, we're going to take a look at some actionable steps that you can take to implement this glocalization strategy into your Etsy store. Before we do that, if you feel like you're learning something so far, I'd love it if you'd click on that like button. And I'm also going to be posting a lot more videos around international selling with Etsy in the future. So to make sure you don't miss those, go ahead and click the subscribe button below. So let's have a look how we can put this into action in your Etsy store. First things first, you want to define and pinpoint the global markets you actually want to target. Instead of casting a wide net and trying to target everywhere in the world, I would really suggest honing in on specific markets in which you feel like your products could really shine. Have a think about where you think what you're selling will have the most popularity and try to hone in on that specific market. Imagine, for example, you're a seller based in the UK and you have a sports themed store. So you sell sports themed sweatshirts, shirts. You've had success in the UK, but you think that something similar may also be quite popular in the US specifically. Okay, great. So we have our target market, the US. I'm going to hone in specifically on that. Once you've done that, you need to do research. I know it sounds boring, but research is so important. You want to become an expert at understanding the differences between your own market and the one you're targeting, especially in relation to your products. So let's have a look at some of the things that you should look into researching. We want to get a good understanding of cultural nuances. So getting a good grip of what the culture enjoys, values, and celebrates. Different countries have distinct preferences, historical events, and societal norms that shape consumer behavior. And researching these helps make sure that your products resonate culturally. For instance, let's think about our sports sweatshirts. In the UK, I might want to focus on sports such as soccer, football in the UK, rugby, cricket, sports that are really popular in the UK. But how do you think these same products would sell in the US? Probably not as well, right? So instead, why don't I take my existing design ideas and blend them with sports that are more popular in the US? So I'm thinking American football, basketball, baseball. But this is not the only thing to consider when it comes to culture. There are heaps of differences in preferences across different cultures. So we've got different design trends, different styles, different general purchasing preferences. Consider holidays and other important events as well. Every country celebrates different occasions, and each is a potential goldmine for you. So for my sports sweaters, I may want to focus my US designs around US sporting events. So for example, let's say I'm creating a line of American football inspired sweatshirts. I may want to make sure that these listings are ramped up, ready to go for football season, which is from September-ish until the Super Bowl in February. Now let's chat about language and communication. No, you don't need to go away and learn a new language, but you should start thinking about how you can maybe tailor your English so that it better resonates with your target audience depending on where they are in the world. And it's the small things that count. For instance, a UK customer might talk about the color of a favorite jumper, while in the US, it's the color of a favorite sweatshirt. And then there's slang to consider as well. Something that's brilliant in the UK might be awesome in the US. So take these into consideration when you're communicating with customers from different regions. If you're able to slightly adapt the language you're using to better suit those regions that you're targeting, it can really make a world of difference. It'll help customers to feel seen and understood, a bit like as if they were speaking with a local seller. And let's now talk about what you can do to optimize your listings and account for SEO when it comes to international sales. If you're targeting a specific international market, your listings have to be crafted in a way that aligns with how buyers in those regions are searching for items like yours. Again, consider those language differences we just spoke about. In the US, someone might be searching for a pair of pants, whereas in the UK, they might type in the word trousers. Pants in the UK is actually usually underwear. Another example is diaper in the US is known as a nappy in the UK. There are other differences as well. I've actually found this great webpage which includes differences between UK and US English in particular. I'll throw it down in the description below. Feel free to check it out if you're interested. And because of these kinds of language variations, something you should maybe consider doing is experimenting with variations of keywords that you use in your listing titles, tags, and descriptions. Thinking about what variations international buyers might be searching for on Etsy. And by doing this, you're essentially broadening your product's visibility, making it more likely to be discovered by international buyers that may be using different variations of the same term. And while Etsy's search algorithm is smart enough to pick up small variations, such as jewelry and jewelry, it might not bridge the gap when the terminology is completely different. So that's where your smart keyword variations come into play. Now, does all of this mean you now need to go away and completely revamp your entire store? No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that you need to consider these different variations and differences and apply small tweaks and changes to your listings and to your products to be able to cater to these international audiences. I appreciate that I've only really focused on the US and the UK for today's examples, but do note that you can use similar principles and strategies and apply these to other cultures and countries as well. If you're interested in learning more about the differences between 2 or more different countries or cultures in particular, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be posting a lot more educational content around international Etsy strategies in the future, so if you want to make sure that you don't miss those, go ahead and subscribe below. And the learning doesn't stop here. There's more videos for you to go check out next.